On the morning of January 24th, 2006, 24-year-old Jennifer Kesse should have started her day like any other. She had just returned from a relaxing weekend trip with her boyfriend, Rob Allen, and had spent the night catching up on life. Calls to family, a long conversation with Rob, and plans for her work week. She lived alone in a brand new condo at the Mosaic at Millenia complex in Orlando, Florida, a development still under construction with dozens of transient workers constantly moving in and out. Jennifer had told several people she sometimes felt uncomfortable in the complex, and that construction workers had been known to stare at her or make her uneasy. But that night, nothing seemed out of place. Her final phone call ended around 10 p.m., calm and uneventful.
True Cold File.
When Jennifer didn't show up for work the next morning, something completely out of character, her coworkers grew concerned. Calls went unanswered. Her voicemail inbox stayed silent. By early afternoon, her parents, Drew and Joyce, were already driving to Orlando. When they unlocked her condo, what they found only deepened their fear. Everything inside was perfectly normal. No signs of a struggle, no overturned furniture, no broken glass. The bed looked as if she had slept in it. A damp towel lay near the shower. Her work clothes were laid out on a chair. It was the scene of a woman who had begun her morning routine and then disappeared before ever making it to her car. Hours later, Jennifer's black Chevy Malibu was found abandoned about a mile from her complex, parked at the Huntington on the Green apartments, a location known for drug activity and crime. The car appeared to have been wiped down. No usable fingerprints, no DNA, nothing. But what investigators did find was something that would become one of the most disturbing and widely analyzed pieces of evidence in American true crime history. Surveillance footage captured a person parking Jennifer's car at Huntington on the Green and walking away. The figure was calm, almost casual, moving with unfamiliar confidence. Their posture was unusual, short, with a peculiar arm swing, and possibly wearing work clothes. Investigators estimated the person's height between 5'3" and 5'5". The most chilling detail, every single frame showing the individual's face was perfectly blocked by the iron bars of the complex fence. Not by accident, but by timing. Each step aligning exactly with the obstruction. Detectives and video analysts later described it as luck or design, though neither explanation brought clarity. The footage raised more questions than answers. Was this person connected to the construction workers at Mosaic at Millenia? Were they someone Jennifer knew? Or someone who had watched her, waited, and followed her? For years, experts have studied the video frame by frame, yet the figure remains unidentified. At this point in the investigation, everything became more troubling. Detectives learned that multiple men had keys to Jennifer's unit while the building was under construction. Workers were constantly inside the hallways. Some residents reported that maintenance workers would let themselves into units without warning. Jennifer had complained about this repeatedly. The possibility that someone inside the complex had watched her routine and known her patterns became impossible to ignore. Before we continue, take a moment to support the work we do here on True Cold Files. If you're watching this right now, subscribe to the channel. It helps more than you know. And drop a comment telling us where in the world you're watching from. Your support keeps these real cases alive. As police continued searching for answers, they discovered Jennifer had mentioned feeling watched in the days leading up to her disappearance. She told her family and boyfriend that construction workers sometimes made comments and stared at her in uncomfortable ways. She'd even mentioned wanting to move. Investigators interviewed dozens of workers, many of whom were undocumented and untraceable. Records were incomplete. Movement through the complex was not monitored. Background checks were virtually non-existent. Detectives were left with a list of possible suspects that evaporated as quickly as the workers themselves moved on to other job sites across the state. Despite massive searches, including canine units, helicopters, and thousands of volunteers, no trace of Jennifer was found. Phone records, financial statements, and security logs revealed no suspicious activity. Her phone, keys, and purse were never recovered, and the window of her disappearance remained painfully narrow. Sometime between leaving her condo and locking her door, and the short drive to her car in the parking lot. Years passed and the case grew colder. In 2018, Jennifer's family filed a lawsuit against the Orlando Police Department for access to the full case file. After a long legal battle, they gained custody of more than 16,000 pages of documents. What they found frustrated them even more. Incomplete interviews, untested leads, and overlooked suspects. The Kesse family has since become one of the most vocal forces in missing persons advocacy, refusing to let Jennifer's case fade into silence. To this day, the only true piece of visual evidence is the blurred figure captured in the surveillance footage. The person calmly walking away from Jennifer's car, their face hidden by a fence as if protected by fate. Investigators still don't know whether this individual was Jennifer's abductor, someone who stumbled upon the car, or a person connected to the construction crews who knew exactly how to slip through unnoticed. Jennifer Kesse has never been found. No remains, no confirmed sightings, no confession, no closure. What happened in those missing minutes of her final morning remains one of Florida's most haunting unanswered questions. And until someone steps forward, that silent figure in the surveillance video will remain the last shadow standing between truth and disappearance. A blur that hides a secret only they know.
If you're captivated by stories where the truth finally comes to light, make sure to subscribe to True Cold Files. Every week, we uncover real cases where justice took decades but never disappeared.